came back down to earth last week. We lost all the progress we had made over the course of about a month and a half.
You took the
So now
wind out of the sails.
the climb back to positive units is here. I mean,
Yes.
that's what it is. We decided to double down. We went bigger than ever here.
Yeah.
So Dominic, we have a lot of bets. Let's try to be brief as we go through them.
It's a lot.
Especially the ones that we've already kind of talked about the fights themselves. So, like, I'll start Kai Car France money line plus 180. Again, I just think this fight is a lot closer than the odds. I'm playing the odds here. If you made me guess who's going to win this fight, I might pick Moreno. But to me, it's like a 50-50 fight. So,
Yeah.
Kai Car France at plus 180, I think that's a steal on the money line. Ji-Yeon Kim money line plus 110. I am kind of shocked that she's the underdog. Now I know her UFC record's not pretty. She's 3-5 in the UFC, but I have not been impressed at all by Jocelyn Edwards. And Ji-Yeon Kim has fought really good competition. I mean, some of her losses: Priscilla Cachoeira, Molly McCann, Alexa Grasso, Anthony Nishevchenko.
She's got a couple
Those are
split
four
decisions
wins.
too, I think, right?
And I mean,
So-
the last fight was a complete robbery. It's one of the angriest I've ever gotten at a fight when she
Yes,
lost
it was.
to Cachoeira. While the best opponent Edwards has fought in UFC was Jessica Rose Clark. Solid opponent, but I just think Ji-Yeon Kim, I think, fought better competition. I think she's the better fighter as of now. Plus 110. Beautiful.
Short notice for Edwards too. But yeah, so Sergey Pavlovich, I kind of hinted at it, right? I just feel like this is a tough fight for Derek. I respect him for taking it. I really, really do. But I really do think that right now, at this point in time, Sergey is, like I said, a fringe contender and a legitimate talent right now in his prime. He's going to be a bit bigger than Derek Lewis, which is hard to imagine. And I just think he carries power. And Derek has shown lately that he is becoming more able to be hit lately in these later fights. So I think Pavlovich gets it done. This line continues to grow. It's been almost down to like even money. We got it at minus 140. We'll see how it goes.
Next one for me, Magomed Ankalaev by decision at plus 100. I originally, when I was kind of sending Dom my picks, I had Ankalaev Smith over 2.5 rounds, which was like minus 120 or something like that. I reconsidered when I really thought about the fight in of itself. If the fight goes that long or is going to a decision, to me, Ankalaev's the clear favorite, the clear winner in that scenario. I think for Anthony Smith to get this done, it's going to require some sort of finish, a submission off his back, which he's fully capable of doing, has a lot of those in his career, or even finishing him on the feet. You know, that he's got that dog in him.
He does. He does. Long rangey.
And plus 100, though, for the decision, I just feel like this is the most likely scenario that's probably even reflected on these odds, because I bet any other scenario, if either fighter by KO, TKO, by decision, by submission, I bet plus 100 was the smallest you could get, but that's pretty much, it's even money. So Ankalaev by decision, Ankalaev feels like a guy who's going to be fighting for a belt. Anthony Smith clearly his toughest test, but I think it's a necessary one for him to pass to earn that title shot. And then I'll transition that into one me and Dom have. 2.35 units, you know me, 1.35.
Yep.
So Michael Morales by KO, TKO, DQ. Respect to his opponent, Adam Fugit, for taking this fight on very short notice. This is the guy, actually, Dom. Do you remember Solomon Renfro from last season of the Contender Series?
Yep.
So Fugit is the guy who actually knocked him out in like less than a minute for Cage Fury not too long ago. So Adam Fugit, tough
He's
opponent.
good.
But this is a tough draw on your first time out. I mean, I think Michael Morales is an
Stud.
exceptional talent.
Yes.
And this guy's power on the feet, his explosiveness, his athleticism, I just think he's going to be too much for a guy making his debut on short notice here in Fugit. I like the way minus 135 for the finish on the feet. He's got 10 of his 12 wins via KO, TKO. So, and we even get a DQ in case Fugit decides to go grabbing for nuts or something. Funny enough, Dom, that next bet I actually took off in favor of this one. So the Morales Fugit does not start round 3 is off.
Okay, that's not on.
So I did not bet that. So I do want to make that clear to everybody.
Okay.
I was going to do it, and then I decided, you know what, I feel good about Michael Morales, so that's why I changed it. Next one, Pena Nunes does not start round 4, minus 150. I put a unit and a half on it. I feel a lot like how Dom does, and I know Dom has a bet very similar to this one.
Yeah.
To me, it feels inevitable that this fight will be finished, and it's not. And I do think if Pena wins, I think you're going to see a very similar to the first fight.
Yeah.
Like to me, it's about what um, differences or what changes has Nunes made to make this a more will swing the I guess odds in her favor. I mean that's what it all comes down to. She's still the favorite, and I think she still should be. We can argue if I guess the odds are a little too much in her favor, but she's the women's GOAT, and I mean we have every reason to believe that she could bounce back here, and honestly, kind of put a bit of a statement on here that she's not done, and that was a fluke. But I think Pena, there's a scenario where that really is the way this fight just goes the majority of the time, and Pena just gets the better of her again.
Yeah.
There's a lot of question marks. A lot's got to be answered. I just have a hard time seeing this kind of fight with all that's going into it going to full 5.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Oh, does that lead into me, right? Lewis Pavlovich under 1.5. I'm feeling I don't know. Maybe this is the bet I think I'm most nervous about.
See, that surprises me. That does surprise me that you're nervous about this one.
Yeah, because I guess I just keep thinking about Derek Lewis and Francis Ngannou, the best fight ever.
Yeah.
But realistically, again, I've talked about how Sergey I feel like is going to win, and apparently I think he's going to do it in under a round and a half. But when you look at the stats, Lewis, should he win, probably going to happen at under a 1.5 as well. I feel like he can connect on Sergey, so I kind of wanted to play that. Both sides here, but listen, 5 straight fights have ended via stoppage for Derek Lewis. 4 of them under 1.5 rounds. All 12 of Sergey's wins have come in the very first round. I just think they're going to come out. I don't know if it's going to be like necessarily a lot of volume, but when they throw, it's going to land, and it's going to land very powerfully. Someone goes down. Got that at minus 155. Into the next one. This is 1.5, 2.5, 3.5. I like that. I did not do that intentionally.
Yeah.
Drew Dober, Rafael Alves. I think this is a sick fight. This is another one.
This.
Yeah, came together short notice on the Alves side of things, but I really like this stylistically. It should be a banger. I think Drew Dober doesn't really get enough respect for kind of the level of competition.
Preach.
And the willingness that he has to just kind of fight anybody. We saw him at UFC 203 way back in 2016.
Fell in love with him that night, man.
Yeah.
That chin, the crimson chin, man. I fell in love with him.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because he is durable for sure, but Rafael Alves has been finished 9 out of his 10 fights, so I just feel like someone's got to give here. Dober, 7 out of his last 10 have been under 2.5. 9 out of 10 losses, as I said, for Alves have been via stoppage. The styles, the way they clash, Dober's very strong and powerful. Alves can lock in submissions from anywhere. I think someone gets put away there. That was also...
let me just say to get your credit on this. I mean, Alves has 8 submission wins. Drew Dober, 4 of his 7 losses in the UFC via submission.
Yeah, I didn't even put that on my paper, so I'm glad you put that down. That's an even greater point there.
So it feels like either guy has a clear advantage over the other here.
Right.
You know?
Very much so. And that was minus 155 as well. And then the last under is Pena Nunes 3.5. Copy and paste what Noah said. I think just the way that the styles clash, the way that the first fight played out, I don't think it's going to be anything too different from that one. I think someone gets put away. And if you're giving me time into the 4th round, that's a lot of minutes. What is that, 17 and a half or something? So, or wait, more than that. I don't know. 17 and a half minutes. That's a lot of time. Minus 175.
Last one on the singles. I got 1.2 units on Pantoja Perez to go the distance at minus 120. There's with this one, like if you really look at the stats here, I mean, Pantoja has had 12 of his 29 professional fights go to distance. Perez, 13 of his 30. So not necessarily 50%. But, I mean, if you look in terms of the UFC, Pantoja 6 decisions and 11 fights. Perez 2 out of 8, which is kind of interesting because he's very decision heavy in terms of his career, but in the UFC it's not been that way. I just think that these two, there's going to be a little bit of tentativeness, I think, at first. Pantoja, a lot to lose here. He's already had to really scratch and claw his way to this spot. While Perez hasn't fought in 2 years, feel like he might have a little bit of ring rust. I'm hoping this fight starts out a little bit slower. these two, I'm sure it'll be a fun fight because flyweight, I mean, they're always in fun fights, but flyweight also finishes fights at under a 50% clip, fun fact. So that's just another thing you can throw in there. I do think Pantoja is a big submission threat in this fight,
Yeah.
but I don't necessarily believe Perez can finish this fight on the feet. So as long as we don't get a submission from Pantoja, I'm feeling okay. But we'll see. I mean,
I like it.
I could be right, and I could be, the words of death. Never forget what I said about Prohaska Teixeira on the show.
Never,
So.
never, ever.
Now, 2 parlays. Me and Dom somewhat similar on these. Mine at plus 127. I switched up my parlays a lot today.
I noticed that.
I was like Dexter's Laboratory, just like pouring shit, trying to make it work. Drakkar Klose, coming off of the best performance of his career. In terms of what he can do here, I mean, Rafa Garcia, 2-2 in the UFC. Drakkar Klose 6-2, a lot more UFC level competition. Drakkar Klose has also gone the distance a lot in his career. I think he's on a good run right now. I think he's a borderline top 15 guy.
Yeah.
And because of that, I don't really see the same with Rafa Garcia, so I think this should be a win that he gets. I don't want to say easy because Rafa Garcia, big submission threat. But if it means anything, Drakkar Klose has never submitted anybody, and he's also never been submitted. So doesn't really go to the ground very much. Second leg, Dante Mays.
A lot of people have been taking him, though, Noah. I've noticed.
Well, this is true, but I told myself after, I forget who I bet on. I can't. I'm not going to remember. Insert mediocre heavyweight here. I said that Alan Badeau. That's.
Oh,
who it was.
yeah.
I said I would never bet on heavyweights again, especially ones I didn't feel super confident in. But, man, I mean, Dante Mays, he's not great. I mean, he's 2-2. He's kind of a guy, right? He's kind of just another guy. But I'm more fading his opponent, Hamdi Abdelwahab, who, respect to him, he's getting his debut here on short notice. But you look at the competition. I mean, he's 3-0. 2 of those wins are against the same opponent. He's got 2 bare-knuckle wins under
Icon
Jorge Masvidal's promotion. I don't know how much that really matters here, so whether he's 5-0 or 3-0. He's definitely a threat on the feet. I mean, Dante Mays an 8-inch reach advantage, too. So, to me, it just feels, I don't know how he's going to get it done. I could even see this going to a decision and Dante Mays winning that way. He's got 3 decisions in 13 fights. So, plus 127, I decided... I've thought about doing, I had Morales on a parlay at first. I had Ankalaev on a parlay at first, and I had these two kind of split up. But I decided, you know what, I'm just going to juice up the parlay. I feel confident enough in Morales and Ankalaev to do singles on, and I'll make the parlay a little bit risky for me, but, 2 legs. I'm not fucking with 3-leg parlays for a while.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I like the thought process there, too. When you mention, Morales and Ankalaev, when you're taking Magomed from a minus 510 to a plus 100. We're taking Michael from a minus 600 to a minus 135. If you're not going to parlay him, you can play him that way. For my money line, it was plus 131. Both of us plus money on the parlays this week. That'd be big if we get the hit on him. I had Drakkar Klose as well. I think he's a supremely underrated talent. When you look at, he's 6-2 in the UFC, and one of those losses was a fight of the year type contender against Beneil Yardrouche, and he just got finished super late.
He looked great early. And
yes.
then after that, Beneil went on his run. So.
Yeah. Klose is a very supremely talented fighter, so I really like him there. And then I went with Alexandre Pantoja. I'm a bit nervous. He closed at minus 180, I think is what he was on this parlay. The running's on right now. He looks so good. His fight against Manel Kopp said so much to me about his skill level. I just thought he looked amazing in that fight. Then to go out there and finish our boy Raw Dog Brandon Royval. I think he's doing big things. I think he earned that title fight for a reason. Yes, it's unfortunate that he had to pull out due to injury, but he's back against Alex Perez. Long layoff for Alex. I think it's a tough fight for him. I like Pantoja in that one at plus 131.
Let me know what you guys think of the poster, by the way. I think this poster is sick. I think it looks so clean.
It's clean. Yeah, it's clean.
There is a little weird stuff with the names. I think they overdo it a little bit, but God, the pictures look so clean, and
yeah.
I wish we could get pictures like that for every one of our recap thumbnails. So,
Oh yeah, dude.
but that's it for the bet slip. Let us know what bets you're placing. All those odds this week come from DraftKings Sportsbook, of course. FanDuel.